Hey y'all!
Hey everybody!
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Remy Diaries channel. I'm your girl Mel.
And I'm your girl Cheryl.
And welcome to another episode of Girl Talk.
Yeah, I know what this is. Yo, boom, yo, boom.
Okay, so today we are going to be talking about a very sensitive topic. She doesn't even know what we're talking about today because I thought it'd be fun to tell her what it is on camera because I already know she's going to have a lot to say. So I wanted her to be a part of it with you guys. So for those of you who don't know, 2 days ago a YouTube video was uploaded by a YouTuber by the name of Isis. She's not a super huge YouTuber, but this video is all over the internet now. Now, her channel is about being a trophy wife. But her title of the video is I Married a Monster. Of course, this immediately drew attention to people. Now, when I was on Twitter, I was already seeing this on my For You on YouTube, and I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this later. I seen screenshots of the video on Twitter. I was like, oh, it's already made it to Twitter, because when I saw it, it had like 20K views. It already has over 100K now. It hit that algorithm, baby.
Okay.
So I was seeing people bring up Shera 7, being like, you see what happens when you follow Shera 7. I was like, I don't know how Shera 7 became a part of this, so I'm going to go investigate and watch this video. So I do want to say trigger warning because this story does involve sexual abuse. So this girl, Isis, she posted this video telling us that she married a monster. I think she's only been married for about a year, and all her videos were surrounded about how to become the ultimate trophy wife and like get the man that you want type of thing. Yeah, I guess this all didn't really age too well. So she starts off the video barely able to speak. She's like shaking. And she said everything was perfect in the beginning of their relationship. You know, all the sweet stuff. Basically the love bombing.
Okay.
If we're being real. She didn't go into grave detail, but what she did write, and this was written on screen. I know a lot of people are like, when did she say that? She clearly couldn't say it verbally, but on screen she wrote that she started to notice some things that were red flags, but she brushed them aside. I'm not gonna lie, and this is no shade to her, but it was shocking to me that you were able to brush such red flags to the side.
Okay, I just want to ask before you continue, how long are they married?
I think it's been about a year. It doesn't seem like it's been long at all.
Okay.
And on screen, she wrote what, because I was waiting for her to say what the red flags are, and she just got silent and was like trying not to cry, till she wrote in very small font on the screen, he R-worded me, sexual assault, R-worded her 4 times in the beginning of their marriage. Not sure what red flags you were brushing aside.
How was that a red flag? Red flags, guys, is when things are subtle. That's not subtle.
I was like, that was a red flag?
Like, you're like, oh, like, that's a red flag, but, you know, whatever. This is, like, in your face, like, how is that even a red flag? That's just, like, a no.
Like, I was really, really thrown. I am not gonna lie. Like, I was getting my hair done. I know y'all seeing this look while watching this video. My hairstylist was getting, like, what's Shorty talking about right now? Red flag? And then she proceeds to say, she was changing her kid. She has kids, not with this man, by the way. She has 2 older sons and 2 daughters, 2 and 4.
She got 4 kids?
Yeah, and she looks really young, by the way. She looks like she's like 26, like 27. She really doesn't look that grown.
Y'all wildin'.
But that aside, she was changing her 4-year-old daughter and noticed red marks on her and sensitivity on her. And her mind immediately started spinning. She just felt something bad. And then she asked her daughter, who did this to you? Like, what? And she said, Daddy did it. So immediately, you know.
Marks as in like hitting, bruises? Like,
I don't know. She said red marks and sensitivity. Like her body was sensitive to touch while she was changing her. And she immediately felt like, oh my God. Oh, no. So then she takes her and her 2-year-old daughter immediately to the hospital to get a physical. And from the physical, they're able to tell both of them have been assaulted.
Sexually?
Sexually assaulted. her 2-year-old and her 4-year-old daughters. And she did not really go into grave detail. Like, we don't know if she's pressed charges. We literally don't know if she's done anything. Is he in jail? Like, she didn't say any of that. But what she did say is that these kids, like, she's hypersensitive about her kids' safety because she herself is a product of R-wording. She was born as a R-word baby. And I was just thinking, oh my God, the generational... She
was a great baby?
She was a great baby. And we're talking about this today because this has started a conversation where women are saying, because she chose to be with a provider man, this is what it gets you.
No.
And I feel like there's something getting lost in the communication, and I wanted us to touch on it. I do want to say this. Number one, considering this was about being a trophy wife, I'm going to take a wild guess that she didn't have her own career. Now, when you learn about these femininity stuff, I'm not going to say Shera 7 is 100% correct as everything, because she very much has a little emotional detachment to relationships, it seems.
Yeah, it's a little too detached.
It's a little too detached. Like, if you're going to listen to someone about relationships, listen to us, one, and listen to, like, the Wizard Liz. Because it's not about just get a rich man, get a rich man, get a rich man. Because if you just get a rich man, you could end up with a bad rich man. Rich man doesn't mean your life is going to be okay. A provider doesn't mean a rich man. It's just a man that's willing to provide for you. You not paying the bills doesn't mean your man's rich.
Yeah.
There's women, and I'm just saying, because there's women of all different classes, right? There is women who have men that choose to work 3 to 4 jobs because they don't want their woman to work. They want her to be relaxed and they want her to be at home so he can come home to that. That's still a provider man. He's not a millionaire, but he wants to provide a comfortable lifestyle for you. And yes, also I do agree that you should go with someone who has a good income. I do, because I don't believe in any woman struggling. But I also don't believe in women not being independent, not having their own bank account, and not making their own money. And I feel like this is constantly lost in translation. When it comes to finding a provider man or a rich man, you cannot have him be your only stability, because it makes me wonder if these 4 grapes, you felt like you couldn't leave because you
didn't have money.
Like, he pays for everything. Where are you going to go?
I'm like, red flags where, girl? That sounds like you made a decision, actually. Not to be, like, you know, insensitive or anything, but 100% this must have been a decision based on your situation, which is most likely lack of financial help. So you needed his money, which is why you stayed. 4 times!
Yeah. She was saying she can't believe this because she walks her kid like a hawk, because she was not only a great baby, but she was also sexually assaulted by her neighbor's husband.
Okay, yeah, so people don't want to accept that spirituality is intertwined with the physical realm that we live in. This has nothing to do with being in church, your religion. This is just life. Like, we are not only vessels, we are spirit. Our souls are spirit. When our body leaves this earth, our soul still exists because it is a spirit and there is a spirit dimension. So what people don't understand is genetically our spiritual, like, we have, like, I would basically call it kind of like a spiritual contract within generations of families. And it's like,
you're like spiritually, you know how people are genetically predisposed to stuff?
You're spiritually predisposed to things due to your genetics.
Yes.
Like, spiritually, these things will happen to you most likely.
If you don't break the curse. And a lot of times,
yeah, it's a curse.
It's like, there's a curse.
It's kind of like a spell that is bound, and you need to, like, reverse whatever spell is put on your lineage, on your bloodline. Like, that is a real thing. And I feel like you guys need to think about, like, when you watch shows and when you see when they make, like, spell work and stuff, why do you think they always need blood? They're always cutting their hands.
We need the blood from the bloodline, like, yeah.
Because it's all intertwined. And a lot of these shows, they actually show real depictions of what spell work is.
What's actually happening.
And, like, spirituality. Like, witchcraft and all that stuff is spiritually intertwined. And you guys need to understand, like, if your mother, for example, you know, got assaulted, got all these things, and didn't unlearn any of these things, didn't do the mental and emotional work before she had a child. To be clear, before the child. If she already gave birth after it happened, that child will most likely, she's now bound to the spiritual contract. That's what I call it. Like, she's bound to the spiritual contract of that you will be next in line to be
abused.
Let's
say the man was abusive to your to your mother. Let's say your mom was always being physically assaulted, but she was never standing up for herself. Even though you as a kid hated that and you were running and hiding and it was literally traumatizing for you, you literally won't even know or be able to explain how you end up in a relationship like that.
Yeah.
Even though it was the last thing you ever wanted. That's why a lot of times it feels like, how is this happening? It's the spiritual. Think about when you watch TV. We'll use Gossip Girl as an example. Every time they talked about Lily Vander Woodson's life, they would say how Serena is doing the same stuff that Lily used to do.
Yeah.
You think they're writing this stuff like to be funny? In every show, you'll see the kid is acting like how you used to be. They're repeating what you used to do. It's because unless the next person in the line of the generation breaks the spell and decides this is not going to happen anymore, it's literally just going to happen.
Yeah, it's just because it's programmed in your genetics. Like, it's not, like, you can actually look up this research that proves this. It basically is a research that they did on mice or rats. I don't remember which one. Both gross. And they did a research to show, like, can this be something that can be passed down? Like, what we're talking about.
Trauma.
So, the trauma. So, they basically presented the rodent with a blueberry. And every time they presented the blueberry, they would zap the rodent. And the mice or whatever would be scared, of course. And
because now the mother is attributing blueberries to getting
electrocuted.
Pavlov,
it's conditioning. So now it's conditioned. And so to every time it sees the blueberry, it is scared. If you know about Pavlov, you'll just always remember the shock of the electricity. So now you're just afraid of blueberries because you associate the two. The mice gives birth to its child and everything. That child wasn't there when it was getting shocked and presented with the blueberry. And when they presented the blueberry to the mice, the baby mice, and when the baby mice saw it, it was scared of the blueberry. It wasn't shocked or anything. So see how that child, the mice, was born, was not even there when its mother got shocked with the blueberry, but for some reason now genetically it just knows to be afraid of the blueberry. It already feels like, oh my god. So this shows how trauma can quite literally be passed down through your eggs, which is why it is our job to make sure we unlearn these traumas and do the work, the shadow work, the therapy to get rid of the trauma, to fully break through from it. So that way you don't pass it down to your future generation. Your lineage will continue it, no matter what you do.
Even if you fix up later and you're like the perfect mom and your kid's wilding out, if you were wilding out when you were younger and when you were pregnant, that's exactly why this is happening. You shouldn't be looking at your kid crazy. You didn't do the self-work before. Now that you've done it, you can't. There's a lot of time you see the moms looking at their kid like, you're just acting crazy. Like, now that you've got your shit together, you decide to get your shit together way after when the kid needed you.
And you guys are having kids in unstable environments, terrible fathers, or lack of a presence of a father. This all adds into that. And also, it's like, for example, like, even for me, like, I feel like, yes, I'm sure, like, there are certain things that I know my mom was, like, had trauma in, and I had to unlearn these things. People pleasing. I had to unlearn the lack of self-worth. To feel like, oh, like, I'm not good enough for things. My mom felt that way about herself, and I felt those things, and I had to work through these things. If I didn't, I could easily pass it on to my child, and I was like, I refuse. Or just dealing with even just narcissistic behavior from people. Anything that involves my self-love being compromised, I do not play with that, because I see if I allow this could happen to my future child.
Oh my god, you just gave me a eureka moment. My mom has always struggled with feeling dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when she was younger, apparently she was bullied for being dumb all the time. So till this day, it's a trigger for her. She freaks out at the idea of being dumb. Oh my goodness. This just gave me the biggest eureka moment. I've never connected it to her. I'm way better now. All through school, I would never want to raise my hand. I would never want to say an answer, even if I knew I was right, because I would be terrified to be wrong. I cannot explain to you why. I literally cannot explain.
Yeah, you were doing what mom did.
And my mom, I'm realizing that when you were talking, I was like, oh my God, this was a constant thing. Like, and I remember I'd be like, if someone else raised their hand and they had the same answer I had and they were right, I'd be like, I would just, the fear of looking stupid would kill me. But I've unlearned this. Now if I don't know something, I'll say it. And if I don't know, like, I'm okay to learn. Like, I don't care. But nothing happened to me to make me feel that way other than being born. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
So back to Isis's YouTube video. So this made people investigate her channel. Like, we want to know how they got together. What I want to know more, because this was actually, everything I told you guys is all she said in her YouTube video. That's it. And people are like, I hope he's prosecuted.
Is this a white woman?
She's black.
Jeez. Oh my God.
Yeah, so I didn't get to watch the whole video, but I did read the comments, and someone listed out some of the red flags they picked up, where she was talking about how she bagged her man and became a trophy wife so fast. And it was the fast part that got me. I'm like, oh, so this happened quickly?
Ooh, girl.
So everyone was saying, honestly, this video is all the things not to do, and you shouldn't take it down, because other women that think this is how you get a provider man. Yeah, because she said these things get you a man. What it got her was a monster, and people are like, if anything, you should change the title.
Yeah, change
so
the title.
That they can get like, oh, this is what not to see like as a good thing. These are not green flags. They're actually all red. Number one, she contacted him as a rebound to her ex. So this was like all about a rebound in the beginning. Number two, he's 20 years older than her.
Come on. I don't believe in dating men that older than me.
I don't, because there's a power struggle, guys. There's a power struggle.
And ew, they're like soggy. You don't want soggy.
Another thing, they said she asked to move in with him.
Already, she's going against everything I believe in. Already.
And then, apparently, after the first date, he went and started dating other people and didn't contact her.
Wait, okay.
And then, also...
How is this a trophy wife behavior?
But apparently, in the very beginning, he asked to be her boyfriend, like, in the first date or something.
That's not normal.
I know, that's not normal. This is what I'm here to tell you guys. Like, these are not normal things. These are not normal things. Another thing is, he only married her after a couple of weeks of being together. And then to top it off, it was a courthouse wedding.
And he has money?
Yeah.
You see, guys, this is what I'm talking about. Like,
the flags are red.
A rich man took you a courthouse wedding. This demonstrates his lack of care for you.
Also, this person listed out that she bought his ring.
What is this video? How is this teaching anyone anything? This is not... 9 times out of 10, this is not a real trophy wife's life. They get picked up by men. Like, she was begging for love from the beginning.
Yeah, so shout out to the person that listed out all the things that were alarming to them while watching this video. Shout out to you.
This literally goes against every dating principle that I believe in, which is why I believe in the dating principles that I do, because it protects you from monsters.
So I want you guys to understand something. The reason why Shera 7 was brought up on Twitter is because women who are misogynistic psychopaths brought up Shera out of nowhere, because she has shorts saying Shera taught her lifestyle. This girl. I'll tell you one thing right now. I've seen a lot of Shera videos. Shera would never teach. I don't know what she taught you.
This girl made her own shit up. Shera would never tell you to ask a man to move in with him or even go buy a man's ring.
She would never. So that's to the people on the internet who are trying to, she never even brought up Shera. You guys decided to take the blame off the man and frame it on the people that teach about dark femininity and what? You're losing the fucking plot. Like, I don't know.
You guys are unintelligent. Unfortunately, you lack intelligence. So you're finding any reason to make yourself feel better about being stupid. That sucks for you. Really.
It really does. And the provider man thing, listen, it is only detrimental when women are teaching you, go after a man for money, and just be with a man who has money. No. You need a man who has a great character. You need a man who is kind, a man who is of God, whatever God you believe in, a man who is spiritually in tuned, a man who is loving and caring, and is a provider. And again,
isn't aggressive, doesn't raise his voice at you, like all those things.
Yeah.
And his communication needs to be really good, like in a way that your nervous system is never dysregulated, ever.
And again, guys, a provider man is not just a man who's rich. And aside from that, ladies, you always need to have your own money. You always need to have your own independence.
No matter who it is. Like,
just because you get in a relationship,
you never know when it could end.
Exactly. Like me, I'm telling you right now, I 100% believe in being with a provider man because I know I deserve that. I am a career woman, though. I have a lot of goals. I have a lot of
sitting
things.
Around.
Trophy wife, I don't believe in that.
Just like using his money, like I just feel like I would literally hate life because I just feel like what is my personal self-worth? Like I need
a trophy.
I need to feel good, and I don't know how that is like fulfilling. You guys need to decenter men. It's because you have a man in the center of your life. If you think it feels fulfilling to be a trophy wife.
Like, no.
No. I'm not anyone's trophy. I'm my own trophy
I'm my own trophy, period.
Like, I'm my own trophy, and obviously, I'm his everything, so he sees me as, like, a shrine. So I get that, but I need to be my own shrine first. No.
If anything, that's such a better way to say it. Don't be a trophy wife, be his shrine. He loves everything that you do. He loves the woman that you are. He loves the businesswoman that you are. All of that, and he wants to take care of you. Do not reject being taken care of. If you have the money to take care of yourself, perfect. Save it up in the account in case you need to run.
Yeah.
Duh.
That's like your play money.
That's your play money, and for you to do your thing, you can set up, I don't know, funds for your future kid, do whatever. That's why I don't like when women try to say, and this is why you shouldn't be with provider men, ladies. Shut it down. This is why you should only be independent and never rely on a man. Yes and no. We're not like
that defeats the purpose of a relationship. There needs to be some vulnerability in a relationship for it to be a relationship. You're basically saying you want like a man just to be there and like give you kids and like
and you just want to be your independent self. He be his independent self.
How is there a relationship? It's supposed to be symbiotic. It needs to be like this. You need to be able to have vulnerability. And at the end of the day, as a woman, why would you feel like you need to be independent? Like, that is literally going against your genetics. Like, you will feel that. You will feel tired, exhausted, and unloved. And that's because you did that to yourself. No one did it. Like, if a man's openly willing to let you lay your head and rest, to me, true femininity is someone who is being able to be relaxed and really confident in herself in a way that is so calming. You could tell, like, she's like, it's giving it's personified. Like, she's so like glowy and she seems so calm, like,
and relaxed, and life is just fun and playful for her.
She's very playful, and at the same time, she knows when it's time to be serious, get things done,
and getting her masculine energy.
In a relationship, she can lean and like relax when she's around her man because he's able to give her that rest when it's time.
Basically what we're saying, masculinity in a woman is amazing. We're supposed to have both, but you don't bring that home. A lot of you want to keep that masculine energy in the house.
That can physically kill you, quite literally. Women are not meant to be dogs, like working and like being like or chopping a tree in the back. I ain't doing that. You can do that.
You know what's so funny? I saw a viral TikTok of, it was like those ring cams showing the person's driveway, and this woman was shoveling snow, and her husband's like, "What are you doing?" And she goes, "I'm shoveling." He's like, "Absolutely not." She's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You're not supposed to do that." She's like, "What do you mean I'm not supposed to do that? I do this all the time." And he goes, we are married now. This is my job. She's literally fighting him.
Like, you need to understand, like, in a marriage, there is, like, you women act like you have penises, and I don't understand.
This is why she came up with the term societal penis.
Yeah, you guys have societal penis. You're like, "Oh, I have a dick." He's like, "I have the dick." You're like, "No, I do." And it's like, you don't, though. He's
like, "We're married now. I'm supposed to take care of you." She's like, "What are you talking? Like, I'm independent. I can do." She's literally saying these words like, "I'm independent." Like, what are you talking about? He picks her. He goes out there, picks her up, throws her over his shoulder, and carries her back in the house.
That alone shows you, like, you guys are not the same. You can't pick him up and carry him into the house. That already shows you, let him carry the load he's physically able to take. Y'all want to break your backs to do nonsense. Go to the fucking spa. Go get your nails done.
Yeah. And again,
you guys don't want to embody your femininity because society's already brainwashed you. That's why you're talking like that.
Yeah, seriously.
You're brainwashed to believe you're not meant to be this soft woman because this world has been so cold and so hard, and money is like so hard to come by that you feel like you have to work your ass off to the point where you're so stuck in work mode you don't know how to get out.
Get out and turn into wife mode, feminine mode, cute mode. I'm telling you, ladies, you need to reel it the fuck in.
Like, what I've been doing in the past, like, I would say 2 years, since we've been learning about this stuff, it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
I literally have been working on my femininity because I realized if I kept this up, I was going to be one of y'all embarrassing
100%.
ass bitches. Y'all embarrassing. I could never be you. I was, like, willing to, like, I was ready to, like, work so hard. Like, there were times, like, I used to work bare hours at, like, so many hours at work, and I would feel pain in my body. Like, I'm like, I'm not made for this, but in my head, I'm like, no, I have to do this. I need to do this. But I'm not made for this life. When I took a break and realized and took a step back and figure out ways to make money without working too hard, I realized, like, what the fuck was I doing? Killing myself. Like, literally, my back is actually fragile. Like, my body's fragile. My mind's fragile. I feel like now I've taken time to find ways to regulate my nervous system. If I didn't take time to calm down, I wouldn't realize that I have high cortisol. I have all these things wrong with me. I probably would have almost gotten sick, like truly, truly sick in a couple of years if I kept up what I was doing.
And if I didn't learn these things, I would 100% be those workaholic wives. A good example of that is Kim Kardashian. Everything you guys see about Kim will never be able to be in a proper relationship because she's
obsessed with working, and it's not even, she's obsessed with clout. Like,
she's obsessed with clout and literally work.
And want people to just want to be so recognized that she's willing to work forever.
She will literally never relax and just be. That's not gonna work. And me, I have so many career goals, but one thing now because of learning this stuff, I know that I want that, but I also want to be happy, and that this is not supposed to be my lifeline because I want to be happy in my marriage. Think about the amount of times you've seen where either partner, whether it's the husband works so much, you feel lonely, you feel alone. If you're the wife who's working all the time, it leads to cheating, it leads to wandering eye, it leads to all these things.
Because you're not
there. And no one's saying not to work, because one thing about me, I'm gonna be a working woman, like I've been saying over and over again. But it's the balance. There's work where you're in your masculine, the organized, you get shit done, you're about your money. And then there's you being the partner, the wife. You get to relax and be calm because you're with someone who is able to carry the load. That's the whole point of being in a relationship. You don't come home to try to carry the load with them together. Like,
and at the end of the day, it makes your husband feel wanted and feels like he has a purpose in the relationship. I don't know why women don't like the idea of giving their husband purpose.
They need to feel needed.
You guys have this weird anti-men thing. Then go be a lesbian. I don't get it. It's really weird. I love the idea of giving my man purpose and making him feel like he's cared for and wanted, because I want love. I want love more than anything.
Yes.
Even before kids, I want love. Like, I want a real solid love, and the kids can follow, because to me, the foundation of love is way more important, so I can potentially feel comfortable having a child. You guys like children more sometimes, to the point where now you give birth to a child in the most discombobulated state. Their life is fucked up. Your marriage is fucked up. You don't even know how to be a good mother in terms of, you know, demonstrating a good relationship with your husband. And then they watch this, they continue the sick lineage. Like, the list goes on. You need to focus on having solid foundation for your family through love with your husband, with the person you plan to spend the rest of your life with or have children with.
And to the single moms out there who are dating, please be wary, because I didn't know this, but I learned today that predatory men, like the man in ISIS's story, target single moms so they can have access to their children. That is extremely disturbing. Protect your kids and be diligent when you are choosing a man. Do not just go for a man with deep pockets. He has to prove himself. Put him through the ringer with tests. You guys don't test men at all. test them in every single
Which is why you
scenario.
need to follow proper dating tips. Be diligent in your dating.
It's so important.
You also need to go to therapy. The reason why you're single or you ended up single is something through your trauma in your life. The union couldn't stay because of things. You attracted someone who was a mirror of you. Most likely there's something wrong there. There's probably trauma you haven't worked through.
And another thing, don't tell men about your trauma. In her story, she told him that she was a great baby. She told him she was assaulted a lot when she was younger. I'm sorry, guys. Men, it's not safe to tell them like things like that. Like, for example, if you've been cheated on multiple times, you should never go into any dating scenario and tell that man that. They see these things as cues of what they could get away with.
Because you've been there, so they're like, okay.
Like, you need
it's
to...
really sick, but it's
sick.
the truth.
It's the truth. You have to keep it on the low. You do not have to tell them everything. When people say, but like that means I'm hiding myself. No, it's not. You can have a couple secrets.
I just want to be myself, and it's like you just want to get naked. You basically trying to get emotionally naked, and it's like nobody's trying to see all that. You know, keep it covered up.
This man took it as an opportunity, and he was like perfect.
Men will take these opportunities, or even like a great example is Bethany Frankel on Real Housewives of New York. She was like very emotionally vulnerable with her man and told him everything about her past. Her mom was in an abusive relationship, this and that. So whenever they would argue, he's like, it's because you're broken is why you act like this. You're a broken person.
You guys,
he throws it right back in her face.
You can't.
And says, oh, and then later on when they were divorcing, he's throwing things at her. He's like, oh, well, that's why you're going to be a terrible mom because your mom was terrible and I know you're going to be just like her. They use these things. You should not be disclosing all of this shit. No. You want to tell a man about you? Tell him what you like, your favorite color, your favorite food. You don't tell him that someone punched you in the face before. Like, that's why in some ways Shera 7 is 100% correct in terms of emotionally being like a little bit disconnected.
And mysterious as possible.
And keeping that mystery because it's actually more like putting your special jewels in a safe and keeping it safe for yourself because no, they can steal that shit and use it against you. Okay?
Absolutely. And if you're on a date, you want to know what to do, keep the man talking. Ask him questions. Because you're the one that's actually doing the test here. You need to know, is this guy even okay in the head? Make him talk as much as he can.
Get to know everything about him because men love to talk. They're obsessed.
You should not be the one spilling your guts, I'm telling you. Don't do it. With that being said, we are praying for Isis's children and for her. And your video is going up on a Tuesday. I hope you get that check and it's able to help you provide for your kids so you guys can all safely remove yourselves from the situation.
And if any of you are out there like this, I pray that you guys see this video and think, okay, like, I need to figure out a way to get out and, like, make some money or do something.
Yes. You can do it. You can break that curse. That spiritual curse, it doesn't go on forever. You can break it today. We are in the process. We've already done it. We're in the process of breaking our family's curse. We are watching it happen to multiple people. We see it in the family.
You need to do shadow work, guys. Look up what shadow work is. There's various ways they explain it on TikTok. All of that. Shadow work is going to help you get out of these situations. We all have trauma. Just because you live everyday life and don't think things are happening, I promise you, things that most likely upset you, trigger you, is trauma, and you just never took time to sit down and meditate on it because you're just go. This is going to be your downfall.
Avoiding your trauma because it's too hard or you just don't like talking about it is going to be the reason your life literally goes up in flames and your kid's life. So
you're going to keep repeating those things over and over again. And you're going to be like, I don't know why this always happens to me. It's because you wanted it to happen, unfortunately. Sorry to say it to you. Yes, because only an idiot repeats things multiple times. That's Einstein,
The definition of insanity, doing something over and over again, expecting different results.
Yeah. That's like you living in a sick simulation, repeating it over and over again, clicking repeat. That's you, sis. Like, you need to take accountability. That's number one. And realize, okay, something's wrong. I keep doing the same thing, or I keep attracting the same guy. Where did this come from? And a lot of times it's usually from your parents. Your parents probably did things that were not good because your parents are humans and they also have their traumas and they unfortunately can inflict it on you because they didn't do the work either. So it's your turn I put the baton in your hand
and decide
to
today
break the curse.
It's done. Break the curse. And if you're watching this video and you know there's a curse in your family, I want you to comment down below. I am going to break the curse. I will not be that person. Break the curse. I will break the curse. You can break the curse. We can all break the curse. Isis, break the curse. You already did it. Your first step was catching on and being smart enough to know something was wrong with your child. Thank God that you did that. So many women's parents don't give a damn and let their kid go through this time and time again. So you're a warrior for that, and your kid will always be thankful that. But any other person out there in these situations, I need you to stay prayed up.
And it starts on working on your self-love. Stay prayed up and work on self-love. That's where it starts. Because I realized, because I really, really worked on my self-love, when things don't feel right, when someone says something to me I don't like, I'm like, no, I don't accept that. I will address it with that person. Like, you said something that was not okay, period. When you don't work on self-love, you let things slide all the time. No, you say something and you realize, no, I did not deserve that. Why did you do it? This is when you're going to start being able to pick up, this person is actually negative for me. They keep doing things that are not good for me. That's how it starts. And then you can start picking up on these things.
Yes, and with that being said, we really hope that this video was informative. Like we said, praying for Isis and the children, praying for all of you out there, and we really hope that this is helpful and that you are able to take steps to become the best version of yourself, because it is possible. Don't let anyone ever tell you that this is just how you're going to be for the rest of your life, and don't you ever tell yourself, this is just who I am, bitch.
There's no such
thing.
It
isn't.
And I'm done with people being like, just be who you are. Bullshit. Who we are is full of shit. There's a lot of trash that we need to take out. We gotta clean it out. You need to clean out the trash so you can be the higher version of yourself. No, the version of yourself right now, you're not done. Like, this is not it.
So don't be lazy. Make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Because we will be doing more videos, actually breaking things down and actually being a guide to help you guys. So make sure you're tuned in to see these next videos.
So we hope you really enjoyed this girl talk. We really enjoyed talking to you guys. We will always be here to be your big sisters, give you advice, and guide you in the best way that we can. And we will see you in our next video. Bye.